Welcome to the Geeks Without Glasses podcast, where we talk about the products of geek culture and the effects on our world today. This week, we will be finishing the discussion. The finale to the console wars comes today with a titan of the industry, Nintendo. Handheld home consoles and even phone apps, Nintendo has done it all and has never shied away from innovation. From motion controls to gamepads, it's time to cover the best and the worst of Nintendo. I'm Kyle, aka Papa Frog.
I'm Corey, aka Custer.
I'm Blake, aka Flair.
And to kick us off, we have Professor. Nintendo, yes, the grandfather of home consoles. Great-grandfathered by the even greater grandfathery Atari. Did you know before consoles, Nintendo originally sold playing cards? Well, regardless, Nintendo released its first home console, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES for short, back in 1985. Can you believe it? Packaged with Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, along with a classic Nintendo Blaster, the NES was a hit. And from there, Nintendo continued to be one of the leading console developers to this very day. Thank you, Professor. Now then, starting us off is, of course, the consoles, where Nintendo got its start. Home consoles competing with the arcades across the world. I never played the original NES, but I did play a SNES, which was the next best thing. It was supersized. I had a lot of fond memories of the SNES. I remember I used to play, what was it? There was this one fighting game I used to play on the SNES, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was. But I remember I used to have a lot of fun with that. I remember the big console that I played a lot of was the Nintendo 64. That was my jam back in the day. I played Mario, I played Ocarina of Time, I played Majora's Mask. I did not play GoldenEye. Surprisingly. But I played Killer Instinct. I played a lot of good N64 games. What about you guys? Have you guys played any of the N64s?
I played GoldenEye at a convention once, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got to experience the crazy, 15 frames a second.
It definitely didn't age that well, but it was still a good game. It was still a good game. It was just
absolutely,
the controller of the N64 just sucks in my opinion, though.
Yeah, it was I remember the N64. You had the normal controller, which was almost like an X-wing, where you had the three prongs, which is like the classic N64 controller, and then you also had, my family, we had the arcade controller, which was it was supposed to simulate the arcade controllers where you had the big board and all the buttons and stuff, and the two joysticks that were full-on arcade joysticks. And that was cool, but huge. And you sat it in your lap and you just spammed all this stuff.
Yeah.
I bet that got old real fast.
It was one of those that was fun to play with occasionally, and then not fun, and then you switch back to the original controller. Although it was very difficult deciding which one to play with, because you had the choice of the giant controller thing with the trackpads or the tiny little joystick that did nothing and was constantly buggy.
Yeah, what perfect options, what good choices to choose from.
I know, but you know what? It's all nostalgia for me. I would 100% play with those controllers again, just for the memories. Honestly,
I have some modern controllers in the N64 that are redesigned to be more like a traditional controller.
Yes, and those are nice for sure. I've seen some of those. I got played with one at a convention, but they are much nicer for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't feel right, though.
Yeah.
Some about the crappiness of the classic Nintendo 64 controller. The fact that you had three prongs,
you have to grab it
very
differently
confusing.
for each game.
Exactly. Some games you would hold the two side prongs. A lot of games you would hold the center one because that's where the joystick was. I also remember legit just playing with it as like an X-wing because it looked so much like someone like some off-brand X-wing.
Yeah.
Right.
But you guys are more familiar with the GameCube, am I right?
Yeah. I played a bit
That's
more
where
on
you
the
guys
GameCube.
started. What games did you play on the GameCube?
It was mainly like I definitely played. I don't think I actually played Mario Sunshine. I think I skipped Mario Sunshine if I remember right, but I heard it was a good game. I didn't play any Zelda just because I hadn't really been interested in Zelda at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I played. I think I played a lot of the Mario spin-off games on GameCube, like Mario Golf and stuff. That was mainly what I played because I was more interested in PlayStation and Xbox at the time than I was Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
I didn't really get into like majorly into Nintendo until the Wii came out because that's when everyone got into Nintendo, even casual people that don't play games.
That's when Nintendo became cool.
Yeah, it was like because everyone was like, "Oh, you can exercise while playing games," and everyone thought that was cool.
I know, it was like the biggest thing, like that fitness app. Just everyone was obsessed with it.
Meanwhile, I'm like hipster Nintendo who I liked Nintendo before it was cool.
Yeah, and you're gonna stay that hipster because I probably played the GameCube even less than Blake did, and also I didn't play any Mario games. I didn't play a single Zelda game
Oh my God.
until maybe 5 years ago. I didn't. No,
Breath
that's
of
not
the
true.
Wild.
I know I have memories of playing Ocarina of Time, but
Y'all consider yourself true Zelda fans, just playing your Breath of the Wild.
I never played Breath of the Wild. I'll tell you what I like about Zelda: the freaking music. I like the music more than the games.
Yeah, Zelda has some of the best music.
Yeah.
Oh, it has. I mean, Nintendo always, or like 90% of the time, just nails the music.
I'm pretty sure one of the big GameCube games I played was I either played all the Metroid Prime games or like just one of them, and that was pretty cool.
That's another franchise that I never touched. I remember playing 2 games for the GameCube. One was a Harry Potter game, and I don't remember anything except doing the snitch game thing. I don't remember what that was called. I've never really seen Harry Potter. What's that sport called where they fly on
Quidditch?
the
Quidditch, yeah.
Quidditch. Yes,
Corey,
Quidditch.
you're rapidly like alienating
I'm losing my
90% of our
points.
fan base.
I know I am losing all the brownie points.
No
that
Indiana
I've
Jones.
Nope.
You haven't played Legend of Zelda.
Nope.
You just.
I've played one or
Next, you're gonna tell me you've never seen Terminator.
I haven't actually.
I knew that was coming.
It takes.
Corey,
me a while.
you're a disgrace.
Next, you're gonna tell me your Terminator Genesis is your favorite movie.
What is that? I'm joking. I know what
That's a
that is. I
joke.
never watched it, but I heard some god awful stuff about that movie. But in terms of the other game I really remember playing, it was Power Rangers Dino Thunder. that was
Power
the game.
Rangers Dino Thunder. All right.
I don't remember what it was called. I think it was just called that, and I remember just walking around in the Zords. Also, I think I may have also played the original Transformers movie game on there and the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game on there too, which I love that. I love that SpongeBob.
I think I
game.
played that on GameCube too. I
don't think I played Battle for Bikini Bottom though.
The problem is all the third-party games, like, it's hard for me to remember which console I played it on because they kind of all mesh together in my head.
But outside of that, that's just it for the GameCube. What about you, Kyle?
The games I played on GameCube. I played Harry Potter. I remember Prisoner of Azkaban. I played Animal Crossing. That's where I got my start with that. I played. I'm trying to think. I don't think I actually had any Harry Potter, not Harry Potter, Mario or Legend of Zelda games on the GameCube, funnily enough. I remember I had Star Wars, Rogue Squadron, the special one that was for that, which was really cool because that was one where like you also played as like just Luke going through like the movies and you had to do like lightsaber fighting and blasters and stuff like that. It was really cool. It was one of the few of the Rogue Squadrons that wasn't so ship focused. There were other vehicles. See, what was? I'm trying to think of all the games I did own for the GameCube. It's been a long time. I remember I did play Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube, but that was like at a hotel. That wasn't on the GameCube that I owned. I feel like there's others, but they're legit just not coming to mind.
Yes, sometimes you have those times where, stuff kind of blanks out memory-wise.
I feel like another big GameCube game I think a lot of people don't like it is Star Fox Adventures because it was more like Zelda than Star Fox.
Yeah, I've never actually played Star Fox. Like, you think about Star Fox and Metroid and some of those other franchises like Mega Man even. A lot of those franchises I never really tried out.
Yeah, I did play a lot of Animal Crossing on the GameCube. I mean, who didn't? Like, Animal Crossing is very addictive. Like, even the first version. There are things I like about the original Animal Crossing compared to the new one, because, like, in the original, the villagers weren't so nice to you. Some of them were mean. Like, they would actually just, like, trash talk you, basically. And Tom Nook wasn't nice to you either. He would get mad at you if you didn't pay your money, and it was more, I thought the original Animal Crossing was a bit more realistic in how it depicted the villagers, because like in real life, if you have neighbors, they're not going to be all nice to you. Some of them are going to be mean to you.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. I do kind of love the fact that you're like, God, I wish there were more like asshole characters in Animal Crossing.
It makes the world feel more alive, because if you just have everyone be more nice to you, it's just like, why? It's weird.
It kind of just like, I wish like a lot of the games were like that, like Pokemon, just half of the characters instead of your rival just like, oh man, fuck you, bro. Like, why are you bringing your animal around me?
Well, it was like that in the original. We'll get to Pokemon when we talk about handhelds. Yeah. But I mean, there were some Pokemon games on home consoles, but they were all spin-offs.
Yeah, like Snap.
Yeah,
Snap's the main one I know about.
And like Pokemon Gale of Darkness or whatever it was called was on the GameCube.
Right. But I guess, from that point, it's time to move on to one of the granddaddies of consoles.
Yeah.
Like, I am still amazed with, it just makes sense, but I'm still amazed with just how huge this console got. And we are talking about the Nintendo Wii, which is older than I thought it was. Like, looking back, it still feels like a quote-unquote newer console, just with how it operates. But, Blake, I'm going to start with you once again. Look at you getting all the starts. For the Wii, what are some of your fondest memories with the Wii? 'Cause I feel like that's something that we're all very familiar with.
I think everyone has fond memories of Wii Sports. I mean, everyone played Wii Sports because it was the pack-in title. And
it was the best.
Yeah. It's just like...
We all loved Wii Sports. That was the best thing about the Wii, basically.
Well,
shockingly, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the only games that you could convince your non-gamer, like, friends and family to play with you. Like, other games, they would just be like, oh, it's too complicated, I'm not going to play it with you. But Wii Sports and games like it, you could just be like, oh, all you have to do is play it like you would in real life, and they would just do it.
And can we just thank the Wii Sports for an increase of purchase for TVs because of all the fucking controllers that would you get whipped into the TV whenever you try to bowl or swing your bat.
Because everyone was too lazy to put on the straps, including me sometimes.
Including me too. I never broke a TV, but I got close. I let that thing fly sometimes.
I always put on the strap. I was a safe boy.
Oh, look at y'all.
One of my favorite things was always tossing the bowling ball backwards and watching all the people jump and spin.
I feel like, whoa!
Yeah.
That was like, I would do that for hours and just suffocate laughing.
But I think I liked Wii Sports, but I think I liked the sequels more, like Wii Sports Resort. Those were good too. I think they were better though, in my opinion.
The sword fighting was the best.
Well, to be fair, Wii Sports was the launch title of the Wii. Wii Sports Resort, they've had time to refine everything and make it better.
Wii Sports was a tech demo. Wii Sports Resort was like an actual fully thought out game. But on to like, the the more I mean, Wii Sports is iconic, but I want to move on to like Mario and stuff. But like Mario Galaxy was one of the main games I played on the Wii, and that is still one of my favorite Mario games to this day. It's probably beat out by Mario Odyssey, honestly, but it's Mario Galaxy is still pretty close in terms of which Mario games, how I'd rank them. And Galaxy 2 is great. It was a great sequel. It was kind of cool to get a sequel to a major Mario game that quickly. I wish they would do that more often, but they don't.
Yeah, Nintendo.
They're kind of slow about making new mainline Mario games. But yeah, I loved Mario Galaxy. I never played Skyward Sword. I don't think a lot of people played Skyward Sword, even Zelda fans, because a lot of people say they don't like it.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't like Zelda games, it's Zelda fans.
Oh yeah, a lot of Zelda fans don't even like their own games, so...
That's fair.
That's how you know a franchise is really big, is if their own fans don't like their games.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think I've come across a Zelda game I don't like. I even like Skyward Sword.
Wow.
It wasn't the best by any means, but I enjoyed it.
I'm talking out of my ass. I've never played Skyward
Yeah,
Sword.
go. Screw you.
I am excited.
Crapping on my freaking Zelda.
I am excited to try out Skyward Sword with the remaster, because you won't have to use motion controls. But, you know, there were some other Wii games I'm trying to remember, like the Mario Party games were cool on the Wii, because they had the motion controls and stuff. WarioWare Smooth Moves was a really good Wii game. I don't know if you guys played that, but that was like one of the best WarioWare games.
I remember
Sounds like a dance game.
I did play one of the WarioWare games. I don't know if it was Smooth Moves or not.
Yeah, it's just, the Wii had so many, like, you know, experimental games, like, even a lot more than even the Switch does today. It's just the Wii, they really messed around with the idea of what was possible with motion controls, and I feel like if the Wii wasn't a thing, like, virtual reality would be a lot more far behind than it is now, because I feel like the Wii kind of pioneered, like,
that tracking type of technology, even for just the controller. And, you know, like, that's kind of a thing that always happens when you introduce something so brand new, like you mentioned, with VR. There are a bunch of VR games that are very experimental, I guess you would say, or unique. Just like when mobile games first became a huge thing, when augmented reality games first became a really big thing. You had a bunch of different things tried out and tested out. And you get some really interesting games and memories looking back on them.
Also, the Wii was the first Nintendo console to introduce Miis, which have been a thing since the Wii, so...
I love Miis. It's such a simple way of doing a bit of character design, and it's so great.
Yeah, it's so simple, but it works so well, and it's... Microsoft's tried to replicate it with their avatars, but they just don't have as much charm as the Miis do.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just because it was the original one to do it, or just the style of it too. The style's really cute and adorable and simple.
Yeah, and also like the Wii had some of the best like menu music ever. Like just when you're sitting in the menu in the eShop or whatever, it would just have the best music ever. It just sometimes I would just leave my Wii on and just listen to the music. That's how good it was.
Once again, Nintendo coming in strong with that type of music.
Sadly, they don't do that anymore. I wish they did, but they just stopped doing it for some reason.
Kyle, what about you? What are some of your memories of the Wii?
I got a lot of memories of the Wii. I played a lot of Wii games. That was because while everyone else was playing their PS3s and Xbox 360s, I had a Wii. And I got so many games for that thing. Between, you know, simple games like Mario, you know, New Super Mario Bros., Mario Galaxy. I got Zelda, Twilight Princess, which to this day is honestly my favorite Zelda game. Well, of course, next to Breath of the Wild, but to be fair, nothing can compete with Breath of the Wild. I'd say Twilight Princess is probably my favorite true Zelda game, or classic Zelda game, I should say. And then I remember the Wii is also where I started my debut into Monster Hunter, which is to this day one of my favorite games of all time. Gosh, I had GoldenEye for the Wii with Daniel Craig as James Bond, which I had a lot of fond memories of that. Guilty Party was one that I really loved. That's kind of a murder mystery party game. Where you had to collect clues and do mini games. It was kind of like Mario Party, but there was like a murder mystery kind of thing with it, and you had to interrogate the suspect.
Yeah.
It was really cool. There were a lot of really interesting and innovative games for the Wii.
Yeah.
And honestly, even with the Nintendo Switch, I don't feel like we have the same level of creativity, if I'm being honest. Like, for one thing, like the Wii, you had Mii's, which were a huge thing for the Wii, and like so many games used the Mii's. Like you had, I can't remember if Smash Bros used the Wii. I don't think Smash Bros Brawl used the Mii's at that time.
Yeah, Smash 4
that was before the
first
Mii
one.
makers. Yeah, but you had, the Wii Sports games, Wii Sports Resort. You had Wii or Mii Party. You had freaking Mario Kart used Mii's. So many games used Mii's, and nowadays, even on the Switch, where you can still create a Mii for like a profile picture, but it doesn't really apply to anything else except, I guess, Miitopia, which recently came out.
Mario Kart, you can use it, and I know Mario Golf, you can use your Mii
Mario
too.
Kart, Mario Golf. So 3 games out of the, 4 years the Switch has been out?
Yeah,
Even 4 years?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna rag on the Switch for that because like the Mii's that was the Wii's thing, so the Switch does its own thing.
They had a lot of Mii games for the 3DS too. I remember that was where Miitopia came out.
I don't think Nintendo's trying to phase out the Mii's. I just don't think they want to oversaturate Mii's like they did before.
Well, I'm just saying, like the Nintendo Wii had a lot more creative games to me. Like, Nintendo Switch is fun, and it's great, and they certainly have a lot on there, but a lot of it is very kind of samey.
Yeah.
To me, personally.
But the Switch just feels like it's picking up where the Wii left off. Wii U left off, not the Wii. Wii U left off.
The Switch, to me, feels like it's trying to now compete with modern day consoles a bit more. It's trying to compete with PlayStation and Xbox and all that, because I've not seen many Wii games that really Switch games that really use the creative motion controls and stuff that they have. I mean, you have 1, 2 Switch.
Yeah, even
Breath of the Wild has some motion controls.
Even the new WarioWare is not that experimental compared to the other ones.
None of them are overly experimental, and they're kind of fading out from the party stuff even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Mario Party is the big one that I can think of that is big into the couch co-op. A lot of them are going more into the online side.
Even the new Mario Party doesn't have motion controls. It's just classic button control. I mean, I don't mind that. It's just weird for Nintendo to do that.
And I don't mind if they do that, but more... Their games just feel a lot more the same. Because, I mean, even with a Wii, you had... Like Guilty Party didn't have that many motion controls. It was just pointing at the screen and pushing a button. But it still was a very innovative game. You don't have a lot of innovation in the Switch game series.
Yeah, I don't want gimmicks for the sake of gimmicks. So when I want things that are cool and like add stuff to the game.
Right. But yeah, back to the question that was actually asked. I had a lot of great experiences with the Wii. Thank you very much. I'll be all now.
And I guess kind of a quick run, but I think it's because Nintendo is trying to find that balance between being as creative as it was and also trying to compete as a third major console like it is with PlayStation and Xbox, kind of adding on the more, what do you want to call them, like, more popular, I guess, games, AAA, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and also they got to think about the third-party companies, because the harder they make it to develop games, the less likely they're going to get third-party support.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a pretty complicated thing, and like there's pros and cons to both. Like I feel like Nintendo, since mobile games kind of took away a lot of the casual audience that Nintendo targeted before mobile games were really big, it's like they have to rely more on the hardcore Nintendo fans to make their money now, and the hardcore Nintendo fans don't want gimmicks and motion controls.
I guess it's my turn with the Wii.
It is your turn.
Tell
us your secrets, Corey.
What are my secrets? My secrets are The only Mario game I played for the Wii was Mario Kart. I never played a Zelda game for the Wii. And I'm just gonna keep on pushing my y'all's disappointment in me into a further level of intensity.
It's okay. Keep going. Keep going.
There's
There's a special place in hell.
Special place. There's a special one. I'm getting to those higher or lower levels. I forgot how those work. Those like circles or whatever you want to call it. But the main games I remember playing are the Wii Sports games. Resorts especially, I would bust up some people. Now I'm trying to think. Oh, here's a little fun one. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I got that for the Wii, and I would play that a disgusting amount of time. A Mortal Kombat game which was not the best in its franchise, although I do love it more than most people do. The Conquest mode was really fun, and the kart game was really fun for it too.
Yeah.
And also the intro is one of my favorite intros in gaming history. That fight, just everything about that was so great.
I didn't play a lot of third-party games on the Wii because a lot of third-party games just had gimmicks for the sake of gimmicks on the Wii, and they didn't add anything to the game.
And that was one thing about the Wii, is that those third-party games, it was really tough to find a third-party game that was fun with the type of controls that it had. Like, did the Wii ever come out with an actual controller or no?
It did. I think
like
it
a
did.
normal-looking controller.
I think there was like a Pro controller for the Wii that looked like a normal controller.
Okay, because I don't remember ever using that. I just only ever used the nunchuck and the controller.
But I might be thinking of the Wii U Pro controller, but I'm pretty sure the Wii also had one.
Yeah, and what are some other games I would play? I think I probably played Dance Dance. Some type of dancing game.
Oh, Just
on
Dance.
there.
Just Dance is one.
Yeah, Just Dance.
Just Dance was really big on the Wii.
Yeah, that was the one. At first I was thinking of Dance Dance Revolution, but I don't even know if that came out on the Wii.
Did you guys play any of the balance board games with like the balance board you'd buy?
I remember not. I had one of the Raving Rabbids games used the balance board.
Ooh,
I did buy a balance board. There was another game that used the balance board. I forget what it was. It was like some kind of raft adventure thing. But I thought the balance board was interesting. Sure.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was the best thing about the Wii, definitely, but
no, not a highlight. But I mean, it was cool. It was interesting.
It's an interesting idea.
And then the last game I remember playing for the Wii, it was a weird one. It was some type of hunting game, and I remember I got a specific. It wasn't a controller. It was like a gun outline that you put your controller in, and then you shot stuff. It was horrible.
There was a lot of like arcade
every
shooters for the
Cabela
Wii.
game.
It was one of the worst games I've ever played. It just didn't work.
I like those controllers you could get for the Wii that looked like guns, and you could put your Wiimote inside of them.
Speaking of not working, I guess it's time to go on to the maybe not so much the granddaddy, but the uncle of them all. I think now it's time for the Wii U, if my timeline is correct.
The uncle of them all?
Oh, when the Wii U is Nintendo's estranged relative that they never talk about.
Yeah. I'm just going to preface this. I'll start this off. I don't think I've ever played a Wii U before. So I'm going to leave this up to you guys to start us off. And I'm going to start with Senor Papa Frog.
Okay.
Away with
I'm going to tell you about all my awesome experiences with the Wii U. I played Zombie for PS4.
What?
And there we go.
Yeah,
we have covered my experiences with Wii U. Yeah. Blake, let's hear your experiences.
I think I have the most
Wii U.
experience with the Wii U because I actually had one. I played. I thought the Wii U was really cool though, but every time I told someone about a Wii U, they were like, "You mean the Wii?" And I'm like, "No, it's a new console, guys. Trust me." And then everyone was like, "No, it looks like an attachment for the Wii." And I would always have these back and forths with them, and they would keep trying to tell me it's the Wii. It's a Wii add-on when it wasn't.
Couldn't you have thought of a better name for a console like that instead of just the Wii U?
Well, it makes sense why they called it the Wii U because it had so much compatibility with the previous stuff from the Wii, but it was just a crap name. They should have called it like the Wii 2 or something. That would have been a better name. But
Liked.
and also the commercials didn't really make it clear that it was a new console. It just seemed like an add-on for the Wii.
Good job, Nintendo.
It's just bad.
I'll be honest, for the longest time I thought it was an add-on too.
Yeah, even gamers that were into Nintendo thought it was an add-on. So and the main reason I got a Wii U, I think, was for Splatoon, because I thought Splatoon was a cool idea, and Nintendo Land, which Nintendo Land was really cool, and that's something that could only be done on the Wii U, because it's like the one player was looking at the gamepad while other players were looking at the TV, which was a creative idea, but they can't really do that anymore with the Switch, which is sad. Unless you had some multiple crazy Switch setup, which isn't practical.
Yeah, that'd be a pain to try to set up.
Yeah. But yeah, the Wii U had some cool games like 3D. Most of the cool games on the Wii U are on the Switch now, so there's really no reason to get a Wii U anymore. But you had Mario Kart 8, which, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is better. You had Smash 4, which Smash Ultimate's better. So every game I can list off for the Wii U that I played, there's a better version on the Switch.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of resounding praise for us for this absolutely glorious piece of hardware.
I even if someone that likes the console, I can't say much that would make you want to go out and play a Wii U.
Yeah, it was just a predecessor that led to something better. It just took a while. The
Wii U needed to happen for the Switch to exist, kind of thing.
Hey, you know what? You gotta have ashes before you can have a phoenix.
I know. But Blake, what are some? Do you have any other big fond memories of the Wii U?
Mainly, Zombie. I don't think I played Zombie on the Wii U. I played it on PC, so I didn't get to experience the exclusive Wii U features of that game.
Wow.
From what I remember, it's like looking in your pack, and the multiplayer was cool.
Yeah.
From what I remember,
there was a lot of
yeah.
It was like Nintendo with the Wii U, like they had a cool idea of the gamepad, but it seemed like they were almost too afraid to fully commit to it sometimes. So it was like some games utilized it and some games didn't. It was just kind of a roll of the dice. That's when the Nintendo tried to have their own social media with Miiverse and stuff, and that didn't work out.
I never tried that.
It got shut down because there was a lot of memes and inappropriate stuff on there that Nintendo didn't like.
I mean, they should have seen that coming, though.
Nintendo clearly has never experienced the internet then.
Well, yeah, Nintendo wasn't ready for people just to shitpost on their social media, which I'm like, you're making a new social media, people are going to be trolls on there. That's just going to happen.
Apparently, they just never went on to Reddit.
Yeah, they've never...
How dare you, Nintendo?
Nintendo made a social media about knowing what social media entails.
Yeah. But, I guess it is now about that time to take it over to the professor before we get on to the handheld portion of this. Mr. Professor, take it away.
Of course, how could we talk about Nintendo without mentioning one of its crowning achievements, the Game Boy. Released in 1989, the Game Boy revolutionized the video game market once again. Now suddenly you could take the arcade with you wherever you went, and with certain cables even play video games with your friends, wherever you are. From there, Nintendo continued their success with the Nintendo DS released in 2004, the Nintendo DSi released in 2009, Nintendo 3DS in 2011, and of course, finally, the biggest event in mobile and home gaming, the Nintendo Switch in 2017.
Thank you once again, Professor, for that marvelous introduction. It is now time to talk about possibly the more infamous side of Nintendo, the handheld consoles, if you want to call them that. And we're going to start off right at the beginning with the Game Boy. Now, I have essentially no experience playing the Game Boy. I didn't really get into the handhelds until the Game Boy Advanced came in, but I know you guys are a lot more well-versed in the handheld side of Nintendo than I am. And Kyle, I'm going to start this off with you. What are some of your fondest memories and games with the Game Boy?
Fondest memories and games of the Game Boy. I'm going to have to say Abe's or Oddworld. Abe's Odyssey. Yep.
Ooh.
That's what it's called.
That was on the Game Boy?
that was on the Game Boy. I remember it was on the Game Boy Color, which is that's the earliest one that I played. It was pretty fun. Like I say, I remember that was one that I thoroughly enjoyed. I played the original Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid, just Metal Gear port to the. Well, I don't know if it was a port or if it was just a Game Boy specific game.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like it was a Game Boy specific one. But I played that one quite a bit. I remember I enjoyed sneaking up on the dudes and then knocking them out. I also, for some reason, enjoyed getting shot often. I don't remember why.
I mean, hey, but get a couple bullets in you just to remind you of what it's like.
Yeah, get a little quick reminder. I played Zelda. What was that? It was Legend of Zelda Seasons. Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of
Ages.
I can't remember what the other Ages. That's right. Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, which were both like combined in a weird way that I can't fully remember. It's been ages since I played them. I remember I played the Pokemon Gold for Game Boy Color. That one was fun. I played quite a few Game Boy Color games back in the day. I remember I had a Rainbow Six game for the Game Boy Color.
There was a Rainbow Six game
weird.
for the Game Boy?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was weird, but
yeah.
cool. There's a lot of games you would never think was on the Game Boy, but was. You'd probably know if you ever played a Game Boy, Mr. Corey. I only played a Game Boy Advance, probably only the LCD version one.
Fun fact, the original Resident Evil was going to be on the Game Boy Color.
I know there was a Resident Evil on the Game Boy Color, or maybe just the GBA. Also, like, the Game Boy Advance that I play, you guys playing your cool with the LCD screen and whatnot and 3D pixels. I played the Game Boy Advance whenever it was a little blue oval that had no backlighting.
Oval?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you want to see some freaking ancient history.
I had both. I had the original GBA and the SP.
Let's see here.
I am very much unaware of this oval. It took me a long time.
That's what it was.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh no, I've seen that before.
Yeah, everybody
okay.
say that's the specific one I had.
That's a classic, right?
Yeah, you could not play that one in the dark at all.
No.
Would
Well,
you
this
really
was the
consider that an
enhanced. I think you
oval?
could. Well, it's oval-esque. Editor put a picture up. Editor
Yeah.
being Corey, I guess.
Yeah. Editor me put up a picture.
Editor
of that.
Corey, get a picture up here.
Yeah. I think I played a lot of GBA games on my DS also because the DS could play GBA games.
Yeah, the original DS could play GBA games. But yeah, GBA was cool, man. I loved the GBA. I played Castlevania on the GBA, and that was hella fun. I had several different ports and games on there. So it was a cool console for sure.
But Blake, what about you with the Game Boy and then moving on to the Game Boy Advanced?
Yeah, I'm just going to lump all of Game Boy together just
Yeah.
because it kind of all fades into my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my most favorite Game Boy Advance games is not a game a lot of people have heard about. It's like Pokemon, but it's with robots. It's called Metabots. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's basically you have a robot and you can like upgrade different parts of them and you fight other robots. It's very similar to Pokemon. So
That sounds interesting.
It has a battle system that's kind of different to Pokemon. Like, your robots walk around this track, and when they reach the end, then they can attack. It's kind of like, in an RPG, like when they have the bar that fills to signify it's your turn or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The initiative bar.
Yeah, like an initiative type thing. It was a very cool game. None of the other games have been ported to the West, though, because it didn't sell that well here. But I enjoyed it for what it was. And I played Pokemon, too, but I thought it was just a cool spin on the idea of Pokemon. I played Pokemon Emerald. I think Pokemon Emerald might have been one of my first Pokemon games. I can't remember, but I like that one. And played a lot of WarioWare. I mean, because WarioWare, that was when it made its debut, was on the GBA with I think it was, can't remember if it was WarioWare Tumble or whatever it was called. Twisted. I think it was Twisted. Yeah, it was called Twisted. And it had the special cartridge that had motion controls built into it, which was cool. And there was also, I'm trying to remember what else I played on the Game Boy. There was, I don't think I played any Mario games on the Game Boy or Zelda games on the Game Boy. Because there wasn't really that many.
I'm so disappointed.
There wasn't that many Mario games on the Game Boy I wanted to play, honestly. There was this, it's kind of hard to remember. I didn't spend much time at the Game Boy, as much as probably Kyle did, but I definitely played it a decent amount.
I played a ton of Game Boy. Well, Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color.
There's probably a lot of games I'm forgetting just because I was like 5 or 6 years old or something like that. So a lot of it is very fuzzy in my mind.
Yeah, thinking back to, that the times where you were like, such a young boy, such a toddler almost. Memory gets a bit foggy. And I guess one reason why I remember the Game Boy so well is that I got into it at a relatively late age. It was after I moved here for sure. I think I was around 10 when I first started playing the Game Boy Advanced. At least when I first remember playing the Game Boy Advanced. I could have had a GBA when I was in New York.
I want to think that I played the Kingdom Hearts game on Game Boy, but I can't remember if I did or not.
Well, another game I didn't realize was on the Game Boy.
Kingdom Hearts was on everything.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts was everywhere.
Yeah.
All around us, amongst us, in the shadows, lurking everywhere.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much my experience of the Game Boy from what I can remember right now. So yeah.
It's more than I got, my friend. It is more than I got.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Are you ready for all the games I got?
Let's hear it.
All the games I remember playing.
Let's hear
Donkey Kong 3, I think. And that's it. I never played a Pokemon game.
Donkey Kong 3? I remember Donkey Kong having a 3.
It was some
Donkey Kong. Like Donkey Kong Country?
Yeah, Country, not 3. It was Country. Donkey Kong Country. That's the game I had.
Country.
And I adored that game. I remember just getting on the Rhino and destroying everybody. And I was very happy when I was doing it. Oh, no, there was another game. It was either a game, and I don't know if this is for sure. It was either a game about Ed, Edd, and Eddy or Codename Kids Next Door. I think. I honestly don't know. But it was some game about some random cartoon. And I just skated around on a scooter or something.
Oh, was it like a rocket power game?
I think so. And I didn't play it that much. It was just the only other game I have a memory of playing. And those are the only 2 games I played for it. I did not, as you are learning, I did not get into Nintendo until a much older age. Huh?
I said clearly not, and that's why you are a disgrace to this family.
That's why I'm such a disappointment to everyone around me when it comes to the gaming world. Nintendo, the Titan. And it took me 16 years to finally get into it. But that's it. And what's the next handheld in terms of
the DS?
The DS. Oh, cool. Something else I did not play until we got to the 3DS. So I'm going to segue this back again to you guys.
We can bunch the DSs together, I think.
Oh, you want to include the 3DS too?
I mean, I'm going to start. I played a lot of DS stuff, so I'm going to split them off. Yeah. I played, I guess we'll start with me. I played, I think the 3DS, or not 3DS, the DS game that I played a lot was Nintendogs, because that was a really cool game for the time. It was kind of like an evolution of the Tamagotchi, but except you had fully 3D dogs that you had to take care of, and you could walk them and stuff. It's not as cool as it used to be, but when it came out, I was like, oh my god, I could take care of a dog on my handheld. It was revolutionary.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
I can take care of a virtual dog instead of my real dog. This is amazing.
I think there are some dark stories that are like that, actually.
Just like, yo, Sparky, fuck off. Can't you see I'm taking care of my Nintendo right now?
Oh my god.
Go away. Go home. This
try
is
to-
your home, but go home.
You try to white fang him, you take him outside and throw rocks at him.
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
the DS was really cool just because I had the two screens, and they could do. The one was the touch screen, and they could do things on the other screen. So I mean, I had a lot of games that you could only do with two screens. So
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play like. I know a lot of people played Mario 64 DS. I didn't play Mario 64 DS.
I played Mario 64 DS.
I heard it was pretty good.
It was. You could play as Yoshi and Wario and Luigi.
What's better than Wario?
What?
I said, what's better than Wario?
I know, right?
I played the WarioWare game on DS, obviously. I love WarioWare, so I pretty much play it on everything that comes out. I played the Pokemon games on DS, I think, if I remember right. I played... I don't think I played that many Mario games on DS. That's hard to remember most. But now, I guess I'll move into the 3DS, because I have more fresh memories of the 3DS in my mind. But yeah, the 3DS, I played a lot of Animal Crossing New Leaf. Like, that was my main game that I played on 3DS. I played a lot of, I didn't play it more until recently, but Tamagotchi Life, I think it's called. It's like the, where you manage like a whole town full, or an island full of Miis, and they have their own it's like The Sims, but Nintendo's version of it. And
Right.
That's the best way to describe it. Miitopia is a spin-off of Tamagotchi Life, fun fact. The Tamagotchi Life had a mode that was like Miitopia's, but so they just made it into its own game.
I remember playing that. It was pretty cool, actually. I liked it.
But yeah, Tamagotchi Life is really cool. If you have a 3DS, definitely pick that game up, because it's definitely very unique. I hope they port it to the Switch or something, because it's awesome. There's also Mario Kart on the 3DS, which I played Mario Kart on the 3DS and DS. They were both pretty good. And
Yeah, they were fun.
yeah. There was also these weird AR games on the 3DS. Like, you remember those cards that came with the 3DS, and you could like scan your face and like shoot your face and stuff?
I do remember
that was
those.
Cool.
Those were weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never did that because I was scared of how I would look.
The hackers are gonna get your face.
Yeah, it's like how like scanning your face onto like a me or something, or even now doing that for like a player in a sports game. I'm like, oh, it's gonna make me look god awful. I'm not even gonna take the risk. I want to keep my self-esteem where it is. Thank you very much.
You start it up and it's like, go.
Yeah, it's just like, this is too much. This is too much. Can you please back up a little bit? I'm like,
teeth.
yeah, like I'm standing across the room. Is that not enough distance for you, Nintendo? Fucking asshole.
I played the Sapphire remake on 3DS, Alpha Sapphire. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
There's a lot of some of them I'm probably not remembering just because it's hard to remember things when you have to remember them on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you, Kyle? What are some of your favorite DS and 3DS memories?
Blake, we have a sniper on the roof posted outside your house. If you do not remember your favorite 3DS game, he will fire and launch your house into the space.
Yeah. I hope you're prepared.
I hope
to
you're
make
ready to go to
everything you say.
Mars, kid.
Mars needs moms.
Mars needs moms.
What?
My experience with 3DS and DS and DS Lite, I had quite a few. I enjoyed quite a few games. I remember I did play the Kingdom Hearts game for the DS, the 365 over 2 days. I played Super Mario 64 for the DS. I'm trying to remember if there was a big Zelda game. I played Ocarina and Majora's Mask for the 3DS, but I don't know if I played any of the big Zelda games for the normal DS.
I think the big Zelda game for DS was Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, Spirit Tracks, and there was another one that was like a sequel to Wind Waker. But I played New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS, which that game taught me how to play poker. And I remember
What?
I was really good at it because it had mini games, and one of the mini games is you can go and play 7-card draw with Luigi as like your dealer and also the opponent you were betting against. And I got really good at playing poker in that. Like,
I can't wait for someone to take you out of context and saying Nintendo got him addicted to gambling.
I know that's like saying, oh, it got me really good at poker.
Nintendo taught me the ways of the streets.
The streets.
When I grew up, Nintendo taught me how to play poker, and I bet away my mother for a Nintendo Switch. And that's when I knew I had a bad poker addiction.
I know. It was whenever I snatched a Switch right out of an 8-year-old's hands and kicked him in the face.
Whenever I slapped a baby who had a Mario figurine, I knew I had an issue.
And it's like, hot nerd.
The baby was just like, nerd.
The baby just kind of like look at you like.
Baby's like
bro,
what the
why?
heck? Yeah, I Nintendo, well, not Nintendo, but I learned poker from the Mario game. It was fun. I mean, there are other games on there as well, but that was just one that I remember. What was another? There was a few big games I played on Nintendo. I desperately am trying to remember, but cannot for the life of me.
There was a GTA game on the DS, I remember.
I remember GTA
Was
Chinatown.
there really?
I never played it.
Oh, Chinatown.
I never played it, but I remember seeing it. I remember being very curious about. Oh, Professor Layton. That was one of the games that I had played a lot on DS. I love the Professor Layton games. I was bad at them, so I never got far. But I enjoyed the characters. I thought the cartoons and the animations were really well done. What else was there? There were a few Nintendo. Oh, of course. How could I forget the Nintendo like self fighter game thing? I forget the name of it. There was this game where you could create like a little fighting game where your character or where you were your character. Like you took pictures of yourself in special poses, and like took pictures of your house or whatever for the background to fight at, and you had like a fireball, you had a superpower move, you could customize your fighter, you choose what moves they had. It was one of the craziest things, but I remember I loved playing that thing. It was crazy fun. There was also a cool dragon game that I remember playing where, and again, it's one I can't remember too well, but you like flew around and had to find crystals, I think, and then you could upgrade your dragon. I don't remember it fully, but it was fun.
I remember two big DS games I forgot to mention.
What's that?
Scribblenauts and Drawn to Life.
Yes, those were two big DS games I also played. They were awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Scribblenauts, I think Scribblenauts Unlimited's better, but, Scribblenauts wouldn't exist without the DS one. So.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, of course the sequel is better because, it was the sequel and they've had time to develop and make it better. But yeah, I always had an issue deciding which I liked better, Scribblenauts or Drawn to Life, because they were both really fantastic games. It's always hard to choose. But yeah, there, and then moving on to 3DS, I remember 3DS, of course, Tomodachi Life was one that I thoroughly enjoy. Miitopia was awesome. I got Animal Crossing as well for that. And what was the other one? Monster Hunter. That's when I kind of got back into Monster Hunter because I didn't have a Wii U. So after they shut down the servers on the Wii, I was left without a monster to hunt except for the single player. But with the 3DS, I got back into Monster Hunter and absolutely loved it. As always, and I love the one where you can play as the Palico, which I think is, I forgot which one it is. It was one. It wasn't like a numbered game. It was just like one of the side ones. But yeah, and then of course, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was fantastic. I played Mario 3D Land, which was great. But yeah, I gotta say, the 3DS was really kind of, I feel like that was probably like the peak just before the Nintendo Switch, because they had kind of mastered handhelds in that sense, and you didn't have the clunky combination with the Wii U. So
I think after the 3DS, Nintendo knew that they had to do something different because of mobile phones.
Exactly. They knew they had to step up their game, and step up their game they did. And I'm very curious to see what comes after the Switch, I'm going to be honest.
I know.
What about you, Corey? What DS games have you not played to disgrace our channel today?
All right. What have I not played? So,
everything.
In terms of the the normal DS, I never played it. I didn't get a 3DS until I got, for Christmas, I think it was my sophomore year of high school, I got a 3DS XL, and I got two games around the same time. Super Smash Bros., which I'm amazed I didn't hear either of you guys mention at all.
I forgot about Smash Bros.
Escapades. I always forget about Smash.
Bros. That was actually, I got a combo.
Yeah, and it was a great game. It was super fun to play on the DS. But I got Smash, and then I got Alpha Sapphire, which was the first Pokemon game I ever played. What's up, Blake?
I remember I was always frustrated when I asked people, "You play Smash?" because I played it on the Wii U and everyone else was playing it on the 3DS.
That must have been a sad time.
It was cross-platform though, wasn't it?
I think so, but it was like you had to have people next to your Wii U, I think.
Yeah. But I remember I got so obsessed with it really quickly. I would bring it to school and I'd play it in class, and everyone else would want to take a turn playing it too, cuz I also ended up getting Mario Kart for it. And so I would pass the DS around in class and have a bunch of people play it. And I became super popular, but also I got real annoyed because I just wanted to play it.
And everyone else would take it from you.
It was like, yo, let me try it. No.
That's why I never let people take turns on my console, because I'm like, if I say yes once, it's like going to become never. Yeah.
But I remember a friend I had during that time, his name was Malik. He brought his DS to school too, and we would have Smash, basically a little tournament every morning, and I would lose every single game because I sucked ass at Smash. I was horrible at it. I was absolutely god awful. But Pokemon though, it wasn't the first time I had played Pokemon. I had played I think it was on the Wii. My friend, it was was it Coliseum or something? It was just like a battle game, but for Pokemon. It was just the fighting aspect of it.
There was a game like Coliseum on the Wii.
Battle Revolution, I think that's what it was called. That's the game that I would play a bunch. And then also, of course, because Minecraft, I'd play Pixelmon. I played Pixelmon before I played Pokemon. And it was the best. I still play Pixelmon. I freaking love that mod. It's so fun.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, for all your hot Minecraft content, be sure to head over to YouTube.com/CusterGamer to get all your Minecraft needs from good old Custer
all the
Corey
Minecraft
here.
needs that I don't put up.
Yeah,
I think it's funny that they put Minecraft on the 3DS and then they pretty much immediately discontinued it afterwards.
I never played it on the 3DS, but I can only imagine that was a bit of a rough one.
Yeah, you had to have a new 3DS to play it because the old 3DS couldn't run it.
Yeah.
Poor old 3DS
by the way,
couldn't handle the
could not
power
handle
of Minecraft.
the everlasting nature of the blocks. But one question I have for you guys regarding the DS: how often did you use the stylus?
Like all the time.
Yeah, quite often. Why?
Oh, I didn't really use
Are
it
you
that
a
often.
loser who doesn't use the stylus?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if
What a
you,
loser.
well,
What a
the-
loser.
there, I mean, if you didn't use the stylus, it was pretty inaccurate.
Well, like for something like, I mean, obviously the games I had, I just didn't have to unless it was like Pokemon. Like Smash.
Oh yeah, I
didn't
mean, if
really
you're
need
using
to
a
use
game that uses mainly button controls like Pokemon, you didn't have to pull it out.
Right.
I just remembered one of the best games I had for the Nintendo DS was Ghostbusters for the DS. It was based off of it's the same game as Ghostbusters the movie, except vastly different. For one thing, it wasn't linear. You weren't stuck to just following the story missions. You could play it as just straight up a Ghostbuster simulator where you go out and you did jobs where you had to bust the ghosts. And you had to research and upgrade your equipment. You could drive Ecto 1. It didn't have Rookie, so you played as all 4 of the main Ghostbusters. You could like swap between them. I remember that was like one of the best games. Like I was like, oh, Ghostbusters for the PlayStation, that's really cool. And because my parents were divorced, so my dad had the PlayStation Wii one. I had the DS with my mom. So I was like, I want to play Ghostbusters at home. So I got Ghostbusters for the DS, and I was so like surprised. I mean, obviously quality as far as like graphics and sound effects and stuff. Like I think they only had like 2 songs from the Ghostbusters movies that they played throughout the entire thing. But like the fact that it was a Ghostbusters game where you were just a Ghostbuster and you like could drive Ecto 1, you could hunt ghosts. It was kind of a more sandbox experience as opposed to the linear games of the other consoles. It was fantastic to me.
Did you guys ever play Carpal Tunnel Simulator or Guitar, also known as Guitar Hero, on the DS?
Oh my god.
didn't even
No,
know
but it
Guitar
sounds
Hero was on the-
awful.
No, I remember Guitar Hero on the DS. I never played
It was
but I
horrible.
remember you had to like plug in the key fret at the bottom of the
Yeah.
DS.
Yeah,
And you had to
had to
strum-
hold the DS sideways.
Yeah, you had to strum, press the fret with your key with your fingers.
Yeah,
And-
it was very
yeah.
unpleasant.
I never played it,
Um,
but I remember seeing it.
Another game on the DS that I unironically liked, it was like, it's an educational game, but I liked it. It was Brain Age. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was neat, even though it was an educational game. It was kind of weird for Nintendo. Even if Nintendo makes an educational game, it's always weird in some way.
Yeah. But I think it's now time. I want to take a little aside before we go into the big poppy of current
The Rombo
Nintendo.
combo of handheld and home console.
Yeah. But before we get to that, I want to delve into a bit of the mobile life of Nintendo. And I'm only going to focus on one major thing that took over the world for a summer: Pokemon Go.
Yes.
That I remember that came out, and it felt like the biggest release, the biggest thing that summer when it came out. It felt huge, and I played the shit out of it. I played the hell out of it. I just remember catching like 10 pincers in one day and feeling really happy that I did that because I felt productive still. I got into the back of like
Didn't
one of my
do
brother's
homework.
friend's trucks.
Didn't
Yeah,
get
no,
a
no.
job. Didn't go work. Called in sick. I caught 10 pincers. That's it. I'm good for the day.
Yeah.
As is all I need
call-
in
yeah,
life.
I called in sick to school because I don't think I was old enough to have a job at that time. I was like, hey, I'm sick. I got too many Pokemon.
It was like one of the only times my grandparents were asking me what Pokemon was.
I know. Like
Hey, listen
just
here,
took
Sonny.
over
Tell
media.
Tell me what the heck is a Pikachu?
But I remember just riding that flame out for that summer and then never picking it up again.
Mm-hmm.
What about y'all? How much did y'all love Pokemon Go? Because I loved it. I really did. Thought it was really unique and fun.
The novelty kind of died off a lot for me really quickly, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought it was cool at first, but I'm like, I'd rather just play a normal Pokemon game.
Yeah. It definitely didn't have as much to offer. I wish battles were a bit more of a thing. I don't know if that's changed now. I haven't touched that
I've heard
game
it's a
in
lot
years.
better now, but still,
is.
like, it had a lot of microtransactions, and I just wasn't into that.
Yeah. But Kyle, what about you?
So I remember playing Pokemon Go that, release. The big thing that was a turnoff for me was the lack of battles. All you had was the gym battles, which were kind of dumb. And even still, you don't really have that many battles. I mean, you can battle other players, and you can battle Team Rocket. They'll fly around and harass you occasionally. But the battles are still kind of just spam tapping the phone. It's not like a classic Pokemon battle, which on one hand I see why, but on the other hand it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the gateway drug for new people.
Yeah. But much like we've said with Scribblenauts and with another game that Blake has insulted by saying its sequel is superior to its original, because obviously Pokemon Go had to come out first in order to get some of the more awesome and in my opinion more innovative ones, like what was that, the Harry Potter one, Hogwarts.
Oh, I remember hearing about that one.
Wizards Unite, that's what it's called. That one's a really good one. Go ahead.
I heard the newer Pokemon mobile game is better than Pokemon Go because it's more like actual Pokemon.
I'm not familiar with it, but I'm sure.
It's called like Pokemon Trainers or something. I haven't played it. I've just heard of it.
I think I've seen it, but I've not seen anything of it. Like, I've seen its existence. Anywho, but Pokemon Go had to exist in order for other things to then exist based off of that. The Harry Potter one I think is pretty fantastic. Pokemon one has gotten far better. There used to be a Ghostbusters one that was turned off that I am very sad about. As far as other, because here's the deal, folks, we got other games in the Nintendo mobile universe than just Pokemon Go. We got Mario Jump thing, run to the side and push a button to get Mario to jump, I think, something like that. We've got Mario Kart, which nobody likes. We've got Pokemon Trainer, which none of us have ever experienced.
Never even heard of
till today. We've got what is the other one? There's another one. Hang on a second, it's coming. Animal Crossing, camping.
Yeah, everyone just played it until New Horizons came
Pretty
out.
much. I played it once and then was like, I'm good. I don't need this. So yeah, Nintendo mobile market is huge, people. Get out there.
Absolutely giant.
I think there's almost a mobile game for every Nintendo franchise besides like a couple.
I don't think there's one for Zelda.
There's not one for Zelda, there's not one for Metroid, but there's one for Fire Emblem.
Is there? There's one for Fire Emblem?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's one for Fire Emblem.
Huh. Did not know that. But I think...
Which if you guys are wondering why we haven't talked about Fire Emblem, I don't think any of us have played Fire Emblem.
I played the tiniest bit of Fire Emblem. Not enough to provide a proper...
It's not because I'm not interested in it, it's just like I'd rather play other Nintendo games.
I mean, I've played Fire Emblem. It's cool. It's a fun game. I enjoy it. Not my preferred. But it is cool.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the stuff that they have for it.
But I think it is now time, my friends, to move on to the big one. The biggest one that came out about 4 years ago.
Jesus.
And became fantastic. It is Switch time, baby.
Real quick, Blake, did you say
Jesus?
Jesus?
Well, because it's been 4 years.
It's been forged.
It's just
Jesus.
I'm not-
the
I'm not just
here-
saying Jesus because I'm religious.
has become part of Nintendo.
Yeah, Jesus. Nintendo created Jesus.
Nintendo has created a virtual Jesus now.
Yep, the Bible's gonna get uploaded to the Switch store real soon.
The Bible app.
An
My
audiobook of it's gonna come out.
my grandma actually had a religious Game Boy Advanced game where you went around and you like fought demons with knowledge of
Fought
the Bible.
demons?
Yes.
Oh, was it like Super Noah's Ark?
It wasn't cool like that. No, you had to stun a demon, and then to defeat it, you had to go up, and he would ask you a question about the Bible, and if
I
you
think that's like Bible Man.
and if you answered it correctly, the demon was dead, and you could progress.
But yeah, it's
Nice.
like the most anticlimactic way to defeat an
It's
enemy.
like, oh, you
Just read us some
stunned me.
scripture.
Now then, tell me, what did God say on or what did God create on the seventh day? Psych, he rested. Oh, defeated.
But yeah, the Jesus of consoles, and it was great. It was great. I don't have too many games for the Switch. Also, I didn't get the Switch till last year after that thing hit the world. That I don't know if we can say yet.
I don't think
I don't know
so.
if we can say it.
That pandemic.
After the world went on hiatus for a year, I got the Switch during that time. That was, it was such a pain to get a Switch. It took me, I think I had to wait about a month. And the way I got it, I feel kind of bad for. So I was at a Target, and I sent my girlfriend, I was trying to find parking, and I was like, hey, we have one. And I like dropped her off at the entrance, which I never do. And then I found parking. And there was some guy there already waiting by the Switch, but there wasn't a sales associate. And my girlfriend got to the associate after he had gotten there. So he watched the associate walk by, unlock the door, and give me the Switch to buy. I was like, oh, man, I was here first, though. I was like, well, you didn't ask for help. And so I basically stole the Switch from right out of his grasp.
That could have gone a lot worse. I'm surprised he didn't fight you.
He just
I know. I was like,
all right, that's it.
I know. I was like, he was actually really nice, but I was like, oh my, I'm about to have to fight some dude for a freaking console. I'm not gonna fight someone. But he didn't do that. He just let me buy it, which I'm kind of surprised by. But let me tell you something. I booked it from the cash register to my car. And I drove home like I was carrying some freaking gold that people were going to try to steal because it was such a hot commodity at that time.
I just imagine you like in Watch Dogs, like when you turn off your car and hide in your car.
Yeah, like I'm hacking the lights, giving me all the green lights right now just so I can get home in 2 minutes. And everything went well, and it was really fun. I don't have too many games for it. I know my girl, she plays Animal Crossing on the Switch sometimes. I have mainly played Mario Golf, which came out a couple days ago. That's really fun. Pokemon Sword. I got Sword. That's really fun. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which is great. And then Mario Kart. And then there's one more, I think. There's one more, and I'm forgetting it. I am trying to look over to my Switch. There's another one, but I'm forgetting it. But those are my main games that I've played, and they've all been really fun, especially Battle for Bikini Bottom and Sword. I'm sorry, because there is a difference.
There is.
But Kyle, let's start off with you,
Start off with me.
my friend.
Start off with me,
What's
you
your-
say?
Yeah. What's your Switch experience like?
I got a Switch 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. It was after it
Okay.
come out, so it wasn't that big anymore. It was like a special deal, and it came with Smash. And then
Nice.
I immediately went out and got Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Minecraft for my sister. I think
okay.
she actually bought that one. And yeah, it was really fun. I have since played several Switch games, of which I am happy of playing. I played Little Nightmares on it recently.
Ooh, how was that?
It's fun. That's one I got more from my sister than myself.
Uh-huh.
Just because she's been very interested in the lore, and I was like, all right, let's play it. She was like, no. I was like, yes, because I'm an evil brother.
I'm proud.
Yeah. And then I also recently got Monster Hunter Rise for it, which is fun. It's not my preferred of the Monster Hunter games. I kind of like Monster Hunter World more than Monster Hunter Rise.
Uh-huh.
Just because Monster Hunter Rise so far, and to be fair, I'm still in kind of the beginning area, feels very bleak and like dark and just not very not as vibrant and pretty as Monster Hunter World. But I mean, it's fun. It's a Monster Hunter game. I enjoy the Monster Hunter games. And yeah. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, I also got 3D Land with the Bowser's Fury. So there you go.
Yeah, Bowser's Fury is awesome.
It is. Super cool. Super fun. Blake.
All right, Blake, it's time.
I got the Switch pretty close to launch. I got it the Switch came out in March of 2017, and I got it in April or May, I think. And so I have a very convoluted start to my Switch history. So basically, I had a Wii U, and as you guys know, or some of you might know, the Breath of the Wild didn't only come out for the Switch, it came out for the Wii U. So I got Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. And then I got a Switch, and then I was like, well, I'd rather play Breath of the Wild on my Switch, so I called up Nintendo, and they were like, okay, we'll transfer Breath of the Wild to the Switch for you. And I'm like, that was the coolest thing they ever did for me.
That was a dope
Yeah, he
thing.
got him on speed dial.
Yeah.
He's got him on speed dial. Blake has connections.
Clearly.
Yeah, I think I just got really lucky with the representative I got, because I think that was going against their policy technically.
And now that you've revealed it, you're gonna get a sudden charge of $69.99 to your
Yeah,
card.
that's gonna give you. Oh, hey, this is about a 4-year-old charge with some interest.
Yeah, but I didn't get one to Switch because I was interested in it, but I thought it was overpriced. For what it was. It was just a tech demo with a bunch of half-baked ideas. And I didn't hear good things. I think 1-2 Switch should have been a pack-in title. It shouldn't have been a separate game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played Breath of the Wild. I played Splatoon 2. I love Splatoon 2. I forgot to mention the first Splatoon, but Splatoon 2 is just better, so I'll just talk about that.
I remember you mentioning Splatoon 2.
Or Splatoon 1,
Splatoon 1. You mentioned when we were talking about the Wii U.
Yeah, Splatoon 2 is awesome. I love the Salmon Run mode, even though it's time sensitive, which I thought was kind of stupid. Breath of the Wild, everyone's talked about Breath of the Wild to death, so I won't spend much time on it.
I've never played it.
Corey's disqualified from life.
I'm so sorry.
The DLC was awesome for Breath of the Wild, and then I played... The next major game I played after that was Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which I thought was awesome. It's like XCOM, but with Mario. And I honestly thought it was gonna suck the first time I saw it. I was like, oh my god, this is so stupid, because I used to have a very low opinion of the Rabbids. I used to have them on the same level as Minions, basically, in terms of what I felt about them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Rabbids more recently have grown on me. I know a lot of Rayman fans don't like Rabbids because the Rabbids killed the Rayman series, basically.
I wouldn't say entirely.
Almost. They almost did.
Almost did,
Rayman.
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, the Rabbids have grown on me, and it was an interesting idea, and I'm glad Nintendo is letting other developers experiment with their franchises, because it allows for new ideas to come in that Nintendo would never think of. And then, you got Mario Odyssey, which is amazing. I wish it would have got DLC, but it never did. Then you got, trying to remember what came out after that. There was like, I'll just list off some Switch games I played. I played Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is awesome. I hope it gets a major update soon, because it really needs one. Game Builder Garage is pretty great. I've been playing that a little bit here and there. It's kind of like Nintendo's version of Dreams, but except not as in-depth. I've been playing Mario Golf. I've been playing, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Who doesn't have that game, though? Pretty much everyone does. Smash. I played Smash, and I bought the first DLC pass, but I haven't bought the second one yet, just because I haven't been playing Smash as much as I did before. Just because I like Smash, like, it's easier to play than other fighting games, but it's just, I'm not too big on fighting games in general, besides, like, Soul Calibur.
Quick question for you guys about the Switch. Do you guys prefer to use, it as, like, a handheld version, or do you prefer to hook it up to a TV and use it as a console?
TV.
I switch back and forth.
I mean, I use both just because I'm curious on how it runs in handheld mode.
Uh-huh.
But I don't take it. I'm afraid to take my Switch out and about because I don't want to break it.
I'm kind of scared of that too. I use more of the TV thing too, but I was just curious. I'm very curious how many people use it in which ways.
My mom has a Switch Lite, so I mean, she has to take it out and about. So, there's a lot of good indie games on the Switch. I did wish Switch had a better online infrastructure. That's something Nintendo's really dropped the ball with, is online.
Yeah.
Especially since you have to pay for it now. Like, if it was free, and I wouldn't be complaining about it, but since Nintendo's charging money, I'm going to complain about it.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. And I mean, like, $4 isn't that bad, but it's still not that great in terms of just how it runs. It's a bit of a pain. Like, I remember me and Blake played a bit of Mario Golf either yesterday or the day before. We had to use Discord because, like, screw that noise of just trying to mess with any type of partying in there.
The Switch technically has voice chat, but you have to use your phone, which is stupid. I'm like, PlayStation and Xbox have their own voice chat. Why do we need to use a phone app?
Yeah. But,
everyone I know that plays Switch uses Discord for voice chat.
Yeah. But, I think... Oh, do you have any more good memories of the Switch, Blake?
I mean, I mentioned all the big ones for the most part. I mean, I like... Switch Online is neat with, like, NES and Super Nintendo games, but I wish they would add more, like, N64 and GameCube stuff. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just overall, I like the Switch, but there are some, like, nagging things that I wish Nintendo would address.
Yeah, which there are, I mean, with basically all consoles. But yeah, the Switch has some issues. But I think it is about that time. Now, Kyle, me and you were talking earlier about how you had mentioned a ranking. How do you want to do the ranking this time around?
Well, I think the best way to do the ranking is first discuss the number one favorite or top three favorite Nintendo consoles, and then top three favorite Nintendo games of all time.
Ooh, got a twofer.
Mm-hmm. So why don't we start with you, Corey, who has the least experience of all?
Once again. Okay, so I think this is pretty simple. The first one, number one, is the Switch. And that might be some recency bias. I'm not quite sure yet. And then I'm going to put the Wii second because of a lot of memories I had as a kid. And I'm going to put the 3DS third because I had a lot of fun with that. In terms of the games, that's a rough one. So this might be an odd one. 1, I'm going to put Wii Sports Resort. 2, I'm going to put Pokemon Sword. And then 3, I'm going to do Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Even though it's not exactly a Nintendo game, I played it for this. Actually, no, I'll do Nintendo. 3 will be Wii Sports Original. Because I'm so original.
You're so original.
I'm gonna flip it back to you, Papa Frog.
How dare you?
What you got?
Don't you flip anything back to me. I'm gonna flip off to you, sir.
I'm flipping you 2 thingies right now.
2 thingies. How dare you? But I suppose to answer all the questions. Number 1, probably the Wii. I love the Switch. It's great, but I like the games for the Wii more. Number 2, probably the Switch. And number 3, honestly, probably the Nintendo 64. Because I like the old school consoles. It was one of my favorites. Grew up with it. Have a lot of great memories of it. Killer Instinct's awesome.
Hipster.
Yeah, you know what, Corey? Congratulations. Kicked off. No, okay. And as for games, probably Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess. Well, probably Twilight Princess number 1, Breath of the Wild, and then Odyssey. That's my number.
Blank.
That's my numbers. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Take that with
Blake.
that what you will.
I think I was gonna put the Switch at top, but I think I'm gonna put the Wii above it, just because I feel like the Wii fully utilized what it had a lot better than the Switch does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Switch has a lot of cool tech in it, but it doesn't ever feel like it utilizes it much in many games besides like 1-2 Switch, and that's about it.
Okay.
Then after the Wii, then I would put the Switch, and then my third favorite console is probably, it's a tough one. I'm gonna say probably the 3DS. And then top 3 favorite games. Number 1 would probably be probably Breath of the Wild. Number 2 would probably be any WarioWare game, because I have trouble separating WarioWare in my head. 3 would probably be Mario Odyssey. So yeah.
I'm really missing out on Breath of the Wild, apparently.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, yeah. It's considered like the best Zelda game by a lot of people.
Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Geeks Without Glasses podcast. Join in next time when we reminisce on our childhood superhero idols. I'm Corey. That was Blake and Kyle. And this has been the Geeks Without Glasses podcast. We'll see you guys soon.